Hi guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Coffee and Hero Show as I take you through my pull list, all the titles that made the cut to be on my pull list this week. So, usual mix DC, Marvel, Indie. I have to say Indie is massive this week, certainly in comparison to the so-called Big Two. Good stuff from Boom Studios, good stuff from Image, some from some of the smaller press labels as well. But yeah, just to take you through what I have. So first of all, we'll kick things off. Latest issue of Berserker is this week. We're up to issue 7 now. The Kenny Reeves, Matt Kindt and Ron Garney Immortal Bloodfest, for lack of a better term. But yeah, Berserker, I'm still enjoying it. It's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's sort of deep as a puddle. But the art from Ron Garney, I think, is superb. I think there's a little bit of myth building going on here. It's not the most original title in the world, but it is a heck of a lot of fun. But in terms of originality, it's hard to look past Department of Truth. We're up as far as issue 16 of James Tynion V and Martin Simmons' conspiracy thriller. There is a different artist I see on this one. I believe Martin Simmons has done the cover though. But yeah, I'm loving Department of Truth. It continues to build upon its own mythology, build on conspiracy theories. You know, if enough people believe them, they become true. They're willed into existence, if you will. It's all about the spread of disinformation and so forth. But yeah, one of the most original titles out there, I would say, and that is an Image Studios one. With Department of Truth, for example, it's at issue 16. So we have the first couple of trades on the shelves. Berserker, it's as far as issue 7. We've got the first trade in store as well. Next up is one from Cullen Bunn and Heath Amudio, which is The Heathens. Another one that I've been enjoying, just ripped from the pages of pulp noir novels. Really, really fun and really, really cool art to it as well. And again, there you go. The first 3 titles are 3 different publishing companies. And we continue that on with a 4th different publishing company. So this is a Source Point Press one called In His Own Image. Seems to be a horror story. Gabrielle Shivani seems to be writing and doing the art. I don't know an awful lot about it, but it's a brand new #1. Definitely going to give it a go. Next up, we have Philadelphia. We're as far as issue 19. So this is the first issue after the 3rd story arc. Same again, we've got the first 3 story arcs in store, the first 3 volumes of Philadelphia if you fancy jumping in. One of the best vampire books in years, if you ask me. And this is from Rodney Barnes and Jason Sean Alexander. So kicking off a brand new arc. Next up from Boom Archaea, we have The Killer, Affairs of the State. This one is actually a variant cover that I went for. This one's an interesting one because The Killer seems to be a movie project that's moving forward on Netflix from David Fincher with Michael Fassbender in the main title role, and there appears to be a 6-issue tie-in series. I'm not entirely sure at this point if it's sort of a prologue. I don't know if it's side-by-side or an all-new adventure, but there's definite links to that, so worth tucking into there. Geez, another different publisher. This time we have Dark Horse, Orphan and the Five Beasts from James Stokoe. This title's been superb. Issue 4, I believe, is going to be the last issue. It's just a wee mini-series. Some of the most insane art you will see in comics in the last couple of years. It's a very well-worn tale, you know, a great karate master's, sensei dies. He has to right the wrongs of that sensei, and he has to take on the 5 beasts. It's very sort of like Kill Bill in structure or something like that, but it's just insane, over the top, and really, really enjoyable. And another new, I wasn't joking when I said lots of different publishers. Next up from AWA Studios is Out #5. So this is the last issue of the Rob Williams and Will Conrad series, sort of an alternate history series featuring World War II and the Nazis. So that will bring an end to that. And another new publisher again, Vault Comics this time, and we're issue 2 of Radio Apocalypse. This is one I've been waiting on. It seems to have been falling through the cracks a little bit in terms of publishing schedules, been a little bit delayed here and there. But this is from the team of Ram V and Anand RK, who of course did Blue and Green, one of the best things in comics in the last decade, I would say. And this is issue 2 of Radio Apocalypse, so glad to see that back. Definitely one of my most anticipated titles this week is Step by Bloody Step. This is a new one from Cy Spurrier. And what looks really interesting about this is it's a completely wordless comic. It's relying completely on the art, which in itself sounds a little bit strange. But when you think back and you actually think that comics are such a visual medium, I'm surprised this is something that hasn't been done more often. You know, the artist is Matthias Bergara. And the art is just phenomenal in this book. This is definitely one of my most anticipated books. It has a little blurb on the back of a girl wakes. She has no memories, no name, no language, nothing except a giant. So yeah, it looks fantastic. High adventure stuff. And again, a title that stands out as being quite unique this week in that it is completely wordless. Another one I'm really looking forward to is this one shot, which is Supermassive. So Supermassive is from Kyle Higgins and Ram Parrott. You may know Kyle Higgins, of course, has done Radiant Black. We have Ram Parrott soon with a new one coming out called Rogue Sun. And this one's like an amalgamation of those superhero titles in one way or another. It seems to be setting the stage for something big with Image. So this is the ground floor of getting into it. And again, definitely one of my most anticipated. I mean, a lot of that comes from the fact we chatted to Ram Parrott in the podcast a few months back. Thoroughly lovely guy, really excitable, really knowledgeable, loves the industry. And he was good enough to let us read the first couple issues of Rogue Sun. And that's going to be a great title, so one to keep an eye out for. Next up, another AWA title comes to an end with Telepaths, issue 6 of 6. J. Michael Straczynski and Steve Epting. This, of course, is the spin-off from the Resistance universe that AWA Studios has been publishing, written by Straczynski. Again, the first couple of trades of that are in store. It's the Resistance and then the Resistance Reborns. And then there's been these spin-off series. One is called Moths, and then this is the other one, which is Telepaths. There are actually a couple missing from this, I should say, as well. This is my pull list because Vicky and I couldn't wait, and last night we took home Saga and Deadly Class, so shoot us. But yeah, Saga 56 is this week. So, the long-awaited return of Saga did not disappoint with issue 55. 56 is this week. Fiona Staples, Brian K. Vaughan. And then, of course, Deadly Class was number 51, I believe, this week. Again, Rick Remender, Wes Craig. Again, one of my favourite comics of all time. So I couldn't wait. Took those home last night, hence why they're not here. But another really anticipated one. I've been waiting months for this to come out. It's actually a graphic novel called Snow Angels. So Snow Angels began life as a Comixology original, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Jock. So straight away I'm on board. But yeah, it was a Comixology original, but they had a deal in place similar to what they did with Afterlift with Chip Zdarsky, in that they would publish it via Dark Horse. And this is the first volume come out this week. So in a sense, in terms of print, it's an original graphic novel if you think of it that way, as the single issues have never been in print before. But yeah, you look at that creative team, phenomenal. I mean, anything from Jock full stop has my attention, but if it's Jeff Lemire writing as well, great stuff. Next up, we have issue 5 of House of Slaughter. I think this is bringing to an end this little mini-series, the sort of stopgap between volumes of Something Is Killing the Children. But this series has been much more than a stopgap. I think it's been pretty fantastic. It's set nicely side by side with Something Is Killing the Children, so issue 5 being the last one this week. Next up, issue 6 of 8 Blue and Gold. This has just been a really cool, fun, pulpy, not take itself too seriously DC title, featuring Booster Gold, which I just absolutely love. Blue Beetle as his partner. It's been Dan Jurgens and Rand Sook the whole way through, and again, probably one of the most fun DC titles around. Speaking of fun, but in a different way, as it's also fun, but also gory, we have DC vs. Vampires number 5 this week. So James Tynion IV, Matthew Rosenberg co-writing, and then Otto Schmidt on art as we continue to find out who we can and can't trust in the DC vampiric universe. Next up is Detective Comics 1054. We're continuing on with the Shadow of the Bat storyline. This is the weekly event. I'd let a couple of issues of this actually pile up, and then I read 4 of them back to back on Sunday. I think this has been brilliant. This has been some of the best detective storytelling in years. It's been Mariko Tamaki writing. Matthew Rosenberg's been writing backup stories in it, which have also been great, called Tower of Gotham. And it's following a orphan who watched the Joker kill his parents, but Batman didn't get there in time to stop him, so the orphan actually hates Batman as much as he hates Joker. But yeah, it's a really cool backup story, but the main story is focusing on Arkham Tower and this revolutionary new treatment that's being administered there. Lots of stuff to do with Psycho Pirate, Penguin's coming into it a bit more. What's great about it is you're starting to see some of the Batman's rogues galleries that you maybe don't see quite so much. You know, it's easy to fall back on the Joker or fall back on brand new creations, but it's great to see some legacy ones coming into it. And yeah, I've been loving that so far. Again, Lee Bermejo variants, of course, for me. This one's actually from a few weeks back. I just didn't get a copy the week it came out, but I needed a copy of Future State Gotham, number 10, which again, I've been really enjoying. This one's Red Hood versus the next Joker to the death. Undoubtedly, one of the biggest titles this week is The Human Target, book 5. So Tom King, Greg Smallwood, again, brilliant title, noir, superhero-y, dripping in atmosphere. Looks like Martian Manhunter's going to come into it in this issue. Greg Smallwood's art has been phenomenal the whole way through as well. And again, just Tom King knocking that one out of the park so far in writing. Next up, we have Task Force Z, so Matthew Rosenberg back again, Eddie Barrows on this one. So this is the Suicide Squad meets The Walking Dead, if you will. And again, just been tremendous fun. You can see here as well, Two-Face is heavily involved. And again, it's good to see a villain like Two-Face getting a bit more of a spotlight in another DC title. So Task Force Z, issue 5 this week. A little bit of Marvel for you now. So first off, we have Dark Ages number 5, Tom Taylor's swan song to Marvel, which I'm still sad about. I'd love more Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. But yeah, this is the last series Tom Taylor's doing for Marvel before he becomes a DC exclusive writer. Iban Coelho on art, and again, it's your traditional outside of canon, just Tom Taylor messing stuff up in the universe in the best possible way, but with a nod and a smile as well. So issue 5 of Dark Ages, will be one more after that. Next up, we have Elektra, Black, White and Blood. So this is the anthology series focusing on Elektra. Some really good creators involved, I can see there. You've got Greg Smallwood, you've got Al Ewing, you've got Peter David, you've got Greg Lands, you've got Rod Rice, and then you've got that lovely Adam Hughes cover as well. Big week this week as well for all you Ghost Rider fans. A brand new number 1 drops this week of a new ongoing series. And of course, we had to go for the Scotty Young cover, but look at that. It is glorious. Just Ghost Ridering it up on a little scooter, if you will. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tucking in this. I'm not a huge Ghost Rider guy. I don't know an awful lot about the mythology. My most recent sort of exposure to it would have been Cosmic Ghost Rider, which was a lot of fun. But looking forward to having a starting point, looking on to jumping on and trying something new there. Next up, Silver Surfer Rebirth. This is Ron Mars, Ron Lim. Again, this is one of those Marvel titles they're set in like an earlier continuity, but telling brand new stories within it. And I thought the first issue was great. You know, big Surfer fan. We're introducing Thanos into this issue as well. Can't say better than that. And then what we have, we're finishing off with a couple now. We have Strange Academy number 16, so the Scotty Young Humberto Ramos series. Again, I always showcase this as one of Marvel's best series. It's great for all ages. So younger readers can get into it, but there's plenty here for us old fogies as well. But really enjoying Strange Academy, and again, we're hitting number 16. And then we just finish off with one more, which is Bolero issue 2. This is from Wyatt Kennedy and Luana Vecchio. Issue 1 of this was as much of a head cluster as you can imagine. Double-sized issue, square bound. We still have number 1s in store, I believe. You could not jump into number 2 of this without reading number 1. This was sort of mind-bending sci-fi, thriller, noir, tons of stuff to it, but really unique and really original. So that is an Image series to finish off with. So yeah, so that's my pull list for the week. That is a mighty big week, actually. Where'd all that Marvel come from? I'll tell you. Anyway, as ever, if anything appeals to you, just get in touch with us. You know, we can always set them aside for you. If you're not a customer of ours yet, you want to come into the store, you want to talk about setting up a pull list so you never miss an issue, we're always here for that as well. But in the meantime, anything appeals to you, just let us know. But look, we'll look forward to seeing you a new comic book day this Wednesday. Of course, don't forget the Declan Shelby signing coming up this Saturday. I'm going to do a little separate video on the YouTube channel just to show you some of the goodies we've got in advance of that as well. So make sure to check that out, and we're looking forward to that immensely. It's going to be 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and it's going to be a great day. So again, hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you in the store soon. So take it easy.